Hello, everybody. After the Texas floods that wiped out much of Texas, it's obviously been politicized. Kerr County was most affected by the floods. They got 20 inches of rain within a couple hours, it seemed like. The geography of Texas in that county was basically a flash flood alley. Steep hills, clay soil, floodplains. So it was very prone to rapid floods. The whole river surged like almost 30 feet in just under an hour. Right? So the whole event was fucking super tragic. But as everything, it got politicized. As of now, there's 121 deaths. The majority of those are in Kern County, and percentage of those is children, almost 36 of them, and there's still 170 people missing. The news, we saw the Camp Mystic, 27 girls and a counselor basically just got wiped out at 4 o'clock in the morning on July 4th. Aid and rescues, more than 850 people were rescued through helicopters, boats. Responders from Mexico assisted. Great response, but there's a lot of criticism coming from FEMA that they were delayed. And obviously this is Trump's fault, right? Because Kristi Noem, the head of DHS, the delay through funding and basically giving people the go-ahead was a cause for these, basically added to the deaths. But Texas and the local agencies were on scene within hours when it was safe to do so, when they weren't restricted by weather. So they're just trying to point out and find one thing. FEMA, there's other rescue agencies besides FEMA that actually do great work. Okay, so just because FEMA wasn't there or was delayed doesn't mean that people were dying because of Donald Trump. It's just another bullshit emotional claim they're trying to make to stir people up. But this is what they were saying on MSNBC Sizzle.
Of Florida, he was the former director of the Florida Division of Emergency Management.
So, Congressman, I just want to make sure I'm getting this right. You have Noem arguing FEMA should financially support states that are undergoing disasters, but leave the actual emergency response to those states. In your opinion, is that the most effective model?
Well, I think the best way I can sum it up is when Donald Trump was talking about Israel and Iran as he was boarding the helicopter. He said, they don't know what the F they're doing.
I think states have a pretty decent shot of taking care of their own problems. I don't think the federal government needs to come in every turn to assist and help out for natural disasters, crisis, or whatever. I think states are fully capable of taking care of this stuff as we've seen now. Whether it was Trump or Biden, waiting for the federal government to provide you support doesn't sound like a very good idea. And you don't want to, I don't know why you'd want to be pigeonholed by the federal government, waiting for the federal government to come in and help. So, either way.
And Kristi Noem has no idea what she's doing. Okay? FEMA is cutting the grant that gives states money to build their capacity, at the same time telling them they need to build more capacity. She's been pausing grants of $10 billion for previously approved disasters. They cut 20% of the workforce, and every decision has to come to her. Okay, David Richardson, who's the new FEMA administrator or acting administrator, has zero emergency management experience. He doesn't know what he's doing, and he's not going to do anything without Kristi Noem's approval. So when we see reports that they didn't send swiftwater rescue crews for 72 hours.
State and local agencies already had their rescue crews in effect. Just because FEMA wasn't there doesn't mean it wasn't happening.
That's because Kristi Noem didn't approve it for 72 hours. Let me tell you, by the time those crews arrived, they were useless. Okay, after 72 hours. When I was the director in Florida, the way that would have worked is the regional administrator would have woken me up in the middle of the night when those alerts were going on. If not the regional administrator, the weather folks who work in the EOC, the Emergency Operations Center, would have woken me up, or my deputy, in the middle of the night. We would have turned on the Emergency Operations Center. We would have gone to a level 1.
Almost 900 people were rescued by state and local agencies. Okay? So, this politicization of these natural disasters is so grotesque. It's so outdone. They blame when the train tipped over in Ohio, they blamed that on Trump. They blame everything on Trump. They blame everything on Republicans.
And FEMA would have automatically moved those swiftwater rescue crews, Task Force 1 and Task Force 2, would have moved them without my permission. They would have done it because that was their job. That did not happen here. Right. And so today I sent a letter to both the Homeland Security Committee and the Transportation Committee asking for a full investigation on the timeline of when decisions were made and why they've deviated from known protocols. And it's questionable whether these decisions may have caused additional death in Texas.
There it is. There it is. See? It's Kristi Noem's fault. It's Donald Trump's fault. You can't trust the Republicans. State and local. Should have FEMA been there quicker? Probably. Of course. But state and local agencies were taking care of business as soon as it was safe to do so. The dependency on the federal government is obviously not good. So that speaks to a larger problem that we have. Being reliant on the federal government to take care of your problems is not a good idea.